How are you doing? Great to connect with you here today.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So, we are really excited and congrats on your upcoming film Chhalang, which is releasing, I think, on November 13th on Amazon Prime. So, I'm very excited to host you on behalf of Sheroes, which is the first and largest women only social network. And this is like a fun space where women chase their goals and aspirations and dreams fearlessly and without judgment. So, an interesting part about our network is that about 70% of our members reside outside tier 1 cities. And your character, Neelima in Chhalang, she's a computer science teacher who lives in a small town in North India. And, from what we've seen in the trailer, she comes across as a very bold and bindas girl. So, we would love to know more about her and what really makes her tick.
I think what makes her tick is her own decision of what she wants to do in life, the freedom to make that decision. Her parents actually are the greatest founding of that. If when you do get to see the film, you'll know that her parents are so chilled out and are so supportive and are so open that that their daughter could become this person that she is. She could have taken up a job in a bigger city with a nicer school, got a better paycheck, but she chose to come back to this village and teach kids of a small school because she felt that she could impart a little more knowledge to them, which would work for them more and they would need that more than the city kids because they anyway have a great sort of exposure to other teachers. So this nature of hers wanting to give back to where she came from and what made her her was something that makes me tick as well. I've always felt like I should give back to this industry that gave me so much, and I do in my own way whatever I can. So that really kind of connected to me about her. Also, she's fiercely loyal and fiercely clear, and all very, 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 very passionate. Loves her job. All of those qualities you'll find in me, and the fact that she's not afraid to say that out loud. She's not afraid to say that I do it for the kids, and I don't have anything more to gain from it than that.
So through your career, you've played a diverse set of roles. How do you go about preparing for roles, and what kind of roles really excite you in general?
I think roles that really make a difference or an impact or have something to say in the film, they make a lot of kind of sense to me. Those are the kind of films and roles that I crave to doing. But of course, I'm also the person who enjoys a light-hearted comedy film. So I'm happy just being in a film if it's entertaining audiences. So if the script is great and the story is totally like killing it for me, I'm happy to be a part of it in whatever aspect. But of course, the love for an actor lies in how much the film, their part and role is pivotal in the film. In Chhalang, that's what Neelima is about. She's the person who kind of stirs that emotion and that shift in the protagonist, which is Montu, where he has to take that leap of faith. He has to make a change in his life. He's got to do something that he's never done in his life, which is actually teach kids. So far, he's a teacher, but he's not done any teaching. And what it gives him, how it changes him as a man, and the fact that Neelima can see that in front of her, that's the real Montu, and he was just lost all this while, and she kind of is the moral compass that finds him and puts him on the right track. For me, that's a great strength because मैं इस state of mind से आती हूँ because my mom is a housewife and she's married. That a woman has a lot to kind of give to shape a man's life and career, especially the man she's married to or the man she's dating. And I personally feel the happiness my mom feels or I feel when I impart that kind of guidance to the man of our lives, whenever I had one anyway. So I like that about Neelima. I like that she's so proud of the man that he's becoming and that she's the one who kind of triggered that in him.
Absolutely. You made a very strong point about the kind of role that a partner plays in a woman's life and the kind of role that she plays in her partner's life and how they can be successful together as a couple, right? So on a different note, in some of your previous interviews, you've spoken very candidly about your experiences with, depression and anxiety. One of the major topics of discussion on Sheroes is self-care and mental health. We'd love to know a bit more about your own self-care routine. How do you prioritize your mental health?
I kind of retracted from people because they kept making me go lower, and it's not their fault. They didn't know what was happening and they didn't know how to do this. They just felt that, oh, she's sulking over something, and nobody really got to understanding it. So what I mean is, I didn't understand fully what it was and how it was till I actually started talking about it. I found one person who I explained what I was feeling in the most honest words possible. I didn't mince words. I said, I think I'm being stupid that I'm feeling like this, and I'm not liking this, but I'm feeling like this. How do I make this feeling go away? There is no reason for it. Nothing is wrong in my life, but I'm still feeling this. So the fact that I think the first step for me was to just be brutally honest with yourself, because the more reasons you keep telling yourself and you keep making up, the more you're going to get lost in that darkness, because you will not know only where it started and where you are at. For me, the little bit of life and world started getting back to normal is when I started becoming honest. And the more I talked about it, forget the other person understanding it. I don't think I was saying it for them to understand it. I think majorly, the more I voiced it, the more I heard myself, and the more I understood it. I said, what am I saying? How is this like this? And what is this person going to do in it? I only have to help myself. So the more I kept talking out loud about it, the more I learned from it, and the more I could do something about it. Of course, you need people, and you need people to kind of support you and to help you and to kind of just be around you. But the actual work is yours. Whether it's from accepting it, to understanding it, to seeking help, to sticking to that help, and to constantly checking yourself that am I dripping back into that? Am I dropping back into that? Is this really a problem which should bring me this low? Or am I just low because I'm low and I'm not okay? Start thinking like that. The minute you start opening your own mind, and I feel like everybody is smart. Everybody has a mind to understand this. If you don't, then you definitely need professional help, because then you also cannot help yourself. You need a professional to help you. This is the way I would kind of put myself in through my mental care everyday process.
Especially the bit where you said you have to do the inner work. I think that is something that we cannot escape, and you've articulated really beautifully. So my next question is, one of the topics of interest in the lockdown is that, how we use this time to learn something new or reinvent ourselves, experiment in different ways. What has been your personal journey during this time?
So I picked up everything. I learned cooking. I did rotis with my mom every morning. I mopped, cleaned, cut, sanitized, everything. I think somewhere that whole instinct a person has of surviving by themselves, if they are in that situation, I've overcome that, because I can live alone now, and I can handle my life and my food and my cleaning and my cutting and my washing and my everything by myself. I have that confidence now to be able to take care of me and my house on a whole. And that for me was a big takeaway from this lockdown, because otherwise I would, I think, never put myself to it. I would never be able to do it. I would just keep running away from the daily chores of the house.
Women, we deal with a lot of rejection. We also deal with a lot of advice that everybody is giving us every day, right? So how do you deal with the negative times, the rejection, and how do you really stay focused on your career and those goals that you have, every day?
I still have the same insecurities any other woman would have, irrespective of my fitness regime, my beauty regime, or my hair regime. It makes no difference what you are on the outside. If on the inside you're going to get affected by the same things, and we are all humans, it affects us all equally. Rejection is going to take a dig at my self-respect, my value, my own judgment of myself. I'm going to feel low. I'm going to go to bed crying. I'm going to wake up crying. I will do all of that. I feel like we are humans. It's a thing that is just part of us. You can't fight it. You can't outrun it. All you can do is kind of snap out of it. All you can do is say, okay, I was rejected. Fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean everybody else is going to reject me. There's one person rejected. Okay, bye. No worries. Next person in life, look at them as a clean slate. Do not carry the baggage of the previous ones to the next one. Whatever it is in life, and give that person a chance to get to know you, and you get to know them, and maybe they won't reject you. I mean, that's the only way I can approach this. There is no other way of it. There is really no other way of it.
Absolutely. So in a sense, a kind of positive self-talk that you have to keep doing every time it happens.
Accept what happened. Be real about it. Don't fight it. I think one thing that we all go first to say is that they rejected me, they are assholes. I don't think that works, because all you've done is filled yourself with more negativity. And why do you need a reason to blame somebody else? Maybe they didn't like something about you, and that's fine. No, everybody on the planet doesn't have to like you. I mean, you cannot be loved and liked by 1.3 billion people. That's not possible.
It's a very constructive way of looking at rejection and goals, I would say.
Constructive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say positive, because you will always be negative about something or the other, but you have to be constructive about it.
So I want to end by wishing you all the best of luck for the film. We're really looking forward to seeing Neelima in action, right? And thank you for your time, and we would love to have you on the Sheroes app. Please do download it and join our awesome community. You got a lot of fans there. And I want to say that this is one place on the internet where every day is Women's Day. All right? So we'd love to have you there someday. Thank you so much, and all the best.